Old Wounds and Forever Afters by Michelle P. Chambers. Chapter 1. The auctioneer lifted his bespectacled gaze from the computer, perched on the lectern in front of him, and gazed about the red velvet flocked wallpapered hall. "We've just had a telephone bid of £1.2 million, he said. His gaze scanned the vaulted room once more before settling somewhere at the back of it. He gave a slight, quick nod of affirmation, then reiterated, £1.2 million. The room, which had fallen in stupefied silence, gradually stirred back to life. Whispers and murmurs filled the air as the gathered bidders, twisting and turning in their antique gilded chairs, craned their necks for a glimpse of the individual who had suddenly raised the bar by £500,000. £1.2 million? The auctioneer raised an imploring hand and pleaded for calm. "Ladies, gentlemen," he said, "may I have your attention? 1 moment, please." The sharp crack of his gavel on the sound block rang out with firm conviction through the half-timbered Elizabethan hall, and garnered an immediate reaction. Voices quietened and faces stilled. The auctioneer cast a steady gaze around the room, and, certain he'd regained everyone's full attention, focused on the young woman seated 3 rows from the front next to the aisle. "Madam, the bid stands against you at £1.2 million. Will you give me £1.3 million for Cadvan Abbey?" He pursed his lips and glanced at his watch. "Because of the timing of this bid, you are allowed 5 minutes to consider your answer." Magdalena Talon sat with bated breath and curled her toes in her tall boots. She squeezed the glossy property magazine tighter between shaking fingers and squared her shoulders against the weight of stares now singling her out. How could this have happened? She'd been home free. She'd easily topped the highest bid in the room with her offer of £700,000. The auctioneer had accepted it as a credible bid. He'd raised his gavel to close the deal, and then came that last-minute telephone bid, 2 minutes before the end of the auction, scuttling her chances and shattering her hopes of winning the bid for Cadvan Abbey. Unlike everyone else, she'd refused to be impressed by this underhanded Machiavellian tactic, and now all eyes were on her. She grimaced. £1.2 million. Absurd.